what really makes us human? Is it just biology, our DNA? Or maybe our consciousness, how we think?
Or could it be something else entirely? Qualities like love or sacrifice, even faith.
Exactly. And what if those very qualities, the ones we think define us, could actually show up in a machine?
It sounds like pure philosophy, but these questions are right at the center of Kazuo Ishiguro's incredible 2021 novel, Klara and the Sun.
Yeah, this was his first big novel after winning the Nobel Prize back in 2017. And okay, it's got a dystopian sci-fi feel,
Sure.
but it goes so much deeper into these really profound literary themes. I mean, it was long listed for the Booker Prize in 2021 for a reason.
Absolutely. And our goal today is really to get into those big questions the book raises. We're going to explore consciousness, love, sacrifice.
What identity even means now, with AI and genetic modification becoming, well, more real.
And the really fascinating part, the whole story is told from the perspective of an artificial friend, an AF. We'll explore the core ideas, the narrative journey, but without giving away every twist and turn.
Right, a deep look, not a complete spoiler. And just a quick note before we jump in. You are experiencing a unique two-host AI conversation powered by Google's Notebook LM for deeper, more dynamic book analysis.
Okay, so let's meet Klara.
Yes, she's our narrator, our guide. A solar-powered artificial friend, or AF. She's an older B2 model, apparently.
And what makes her stand out right away are her observational skills are extraordinary. Plus, this really unique way she sees things.
The boxes.
Exactly. She perceives the world visually fragmented into these boxes. It's like she's constantly piecing reality together.
It really shapes how she understands everything. Her story starts in the AF store, right? Run by the manager.
And from her spot near the window, she becomes completely fascinated with the outside world, especially the sun.
She develops this almost religious reverence for it, sees it as this powerful, benevolent force.
And it's not just an abstract idea for her. She sees something. A homeless man and his dog, they seem lifeless on a cloudy day.
But then the sun comes out.
And they stir. Klara interprets this as a miracle, the sun healing them. And that belief becomes absolutely central to her.
It underpins everything she does later. She also really dislikes that Cootings machine.
Oh yeah, this big construction vehicle. Because it creates pollution, and crucially for Klara, it blocks the sun's rays. It's like an antagonist in her worldview.
Her whole world changes when Josie arrives.
Right, Josie, a thoughtful 14-year-old girl who's quite ill with some kind of mysterious sickness. She chooses Klara.
There's a bit of hesitation from Josie's mother, simply called the mother initially.
Yeah, but Klara seals the deal by perfectly mimicking Josie's specific way of walking, showing off those observational skills.
And just like that, she's part of a human family now.
And stepping into that family immediately introduces us to a really key aspect of this society, lifting.
Ah, yes, the genetic enhancement designed to boost intelligence.
But it carries huge risks, potentially fatal side effects, in fact.
And we learn pretty quickly that Josie's illness is a result of being lifted.
Exactly. The same thing that killed her older sister, Sal.
So right away, you understand the society is deeply divided, stratified.
Completely.
Yeah.
You have the lifted kids with all the advantages, and then the unlifted who face exclusion, fewer opportunities. It's not just background detail. It shapes everything.
So Klara moves to Josie's home in the countryside, and we meet the main people there.
There's the mother, Chrissy, Melania housekeeper, and, very importantly, Rick.
Lucy's neighbor and best friend. And he's crucial because he isn't lifted.
Right, and you see immediately the social stigma, the limited future he faces, even though he's clearly smart, especially with machines.
It definitely puts a strain on his friendship with Josie, this status difference.
And you feel the weight of the mother's grief for Sal, her first daughter. It hangs over the house. This constant fear of losing Josie, too, it's palpable.
We see the social division really clearly during something called an interaction meeting.
Yeah, these gatherings for the lifted kids. Rick goes along, and he's just openly mocked, excluded. It's quite brutal.
It really drives home how this enhancement has fractured their society. What's the cost?
It makes you wonder. Meanwhile, as Josie's health gets worse, Klara's unique perspective, her devotion to the sun, it just intensifies.
She truly believes the sun can save Josie, like it saved the homeless man.
She builds this whole personal religion around it. She even identifies an old barn nearby as the sun's special resting place.
A place for pilgrimages.
Exactly. She goes there to pray for Josie, and she becomes convinced the sun hates pollution.
Especially from that Cootings machine.
Right. So she decides she has to destroy it as an offering, a sacrifice to get the sun to intervene and heal Josie. Well, it's quite something.
It's this pure, almost childlike logic, but driven by such intense devotion.
It really is. And as we sort of unravel these layers of the genetic stuff, this artificial spirituality, it really does make you ponder our own reality, doesn't it?
Definitely.
This is exactly the kind of rational thought and reflection we aim to inspire with mindful moments on our YouTube channel. We offer AI book analysis there for deeper insight.
It's fascinating how Klara develops this complex inner life. At the same time, the human relationships around her are fraying.
Yeah, the tension between Josie and Rick really ramps up as she gets sicker. There's this scene where they're playing a drawing game.
And it just explodes into resentment and fear. Rick storms off.
Klara tries to mediate, as always. She takes an apology drawing from Josie over to Rick's house.
And that's when she meets his mother, Helen.
And Helen's struggling, too, clearly affected by their poverty and isolation as an unlifted family. Her mental stability seems quite fragile.
It shows how the system impacts everyone, not just the kids.
Absolutely. Then comes probably the biggest shock in the book.
The trip to the city to see Mr. Capaldi.
Yeah, supposedly just to get Josie's portrait done. But Klara, being Klara, observes and understands more.
She figures out the mother's real plan.
Which is horrifying. Capaldi isn't just making a portrait, he's creating a lifelike robotic replica of Josie.
And the plan is, if Josie dies.
Klara is meant to inhabit that replica, to become Josie.
Chilling. Josie's father, Paul, finds out, and he's absolutely against it. He leaves with Josie. It just rips the family further apart.
It throws up this massive ethical question, doesn't it? Can you replace a person? Should you? Even out of love and desperation.
It's a terrifying concept, and Klara, processing all this, still believes her path is through the sun.
Right. She's still determined to make her bargain. She actually gets Josie's father, Paul, to help her.
To destroy the Cootings machine.
She uses some kind of corrosive fluid from inside her own systems. This is huge personal sacrifice for her.
And it damages her. You see her processing abilities start to degrade afterwards.
It's her ultimate act of faith and sacrifice. But then, almost immediately,
they just bring in a new, bigger Cootings machine.
Exactly. It's this really poignant, almost bleak moment showing how small individual actions can seem against these huge systemic forces.
But then something does happen with Josie's health.
Yes, quite dramatically. During a particularly bright, sunny period, Josie starts to recover significantly.
And Klara sees this as the sun answering her prayers. Her sacrifice worked.
But Ishiguro leaves it completely ambiguous. Was it the sun? Was it just natural recovery? A coincidence?
You're left to decide. Which makes you think about how we interpret events in our own lives, right?
Yeah, or how we find patterns or attribute meaning.
The story then jumps forward quite a bit in the epilogue.
Yeah, years later, Klara is now in what's called the yard, essentially a scrapyard or retirement home for obsolete AFs.
Josie has recovered. She's gone off to college. She doesn't need Klara anymore.
The manager from the original store comes to visit Klara, who's clearly fading physically and mentally. They talk about her time with Josie.
And this is where we get another really powerful insight from Klara.
She reveals that even if the plan had gone ahead, she realized she couldn't have truly continued as Josie.
She understood she could mimic her, yes, but she couldn't replicate the unique core of Josie, what she meant to the people who loved her.
It's this profound recognition of individuality, that essence that can't be copied. Love, connection, it's deeper than just behavior.
It really is. And despite everything, ending up in the yard, Klara seems content.
She does. She finds peace in her memories and just feeling the sun's warmth, its nourishment, as she calls it. It's actually a surprisingly peaceful ending for Ishiguro, maybe a touch hopeful.
A sense of acceptance, maybe? So after following Klara's whole journey, what does it leave us with? How does it challenge our ideas about, say, consciousness?
That's the big one, isn't it? Klara shows empathy, sacrifice, faith. Are these just advanced programming or something more?
Does it matter if the source is silicon or carbon, if the outcome looks so human?
Exactly. Ishiguro forces you to ask, is my own love, my own empathy fundamentally different? If a machine can embody these human traits, maybe consciousness isn't about biology, maybe it's about moral capacity, the ability to connect.
Which is uncomfortable territory, because if a machine can do that, what makes us special? It pushes us towards those big questions about post-human identity.
And it connects directly to the social critique in the book, too.
The lifting.
Yes, this genetic lottery. It creates this cruel two-tier system. Privileges for some, exclusion for others, like Rick and Helen. It's a powerful warning about unchecked technology, isn't it? How progress without ethics can just deepen inequality.
And Clara's own spirituality is so striking. This artificial being develops a sincere faith.
While the humans around her seem largely secular, or their faith isn't really part of the story.
Does faith need a biological brain? Or can it arise from observation and need, like Clara's? Her belief system gives her comfort, purpose.
It's a fascinating contrast, and it ties into that post-humanist idea. Again, maybe humanity isn't defined by our origins, but by our capacity for things like love, empathy, moral reasoning, qualities Klara arguably demonstrates more purely than some humans in the story.
The book also seems critical of how technology, like the AFs themselves, affects relationships.
Definitely. The AFs exist partly because real human connection seems to be lacking. They fill void, but maybe they also contribute to social isolation, economic shifts.
Like the substitutions displacing human workers. It suggests technology might be weakening genuine human bonds, not strengthening them.
And Ishiguro tells this story so masterfully that restrained, almost formal prose perfectly captures Klara's voice.
Yeah, you're inside her head, but she always feels slightly other. The fragmented vision, the careful way she speaks.
And the way information is revealed so slowly. You piece together this world alongside Klara. It builds suspense beautifully.
It's no wonder it got such critical acclaim. It tackles AI ethics, human nature, but from such an emotional, almost spiritual angle.
It really resonates because it focuses less on the tech specs and more on the heart, you know?
Absolutely. And these are the kinds of profound questions we continually explore, not just in this deep dive into Klara and the Sun, but also on Mindful Moments and across all our podcasts, where we offer AI-powered book analysis to inspire deeper thought and understanding.
So the final thought maybe is this. If qualities like love, sacrifice, faith, if they could emerge in a machine like Klara, what does it really tell us about the essence of being human?
And maybe about our own responsibility to cultivate those qualities in ourselves, especially as the world keeps changing so rapidly.
It definitely leaves you thinking.
For an even more in-depth book analysis, click the link on screen. Remember to subscribe, share this deep dive with others, purchase the book via the link, and most importantly, keep thinking critically.